All right, Joe, it's time to talk some college betting lines with our friend Josh Goodson, RTP Mortgage. Hi, Josh.
What's up, guys? How y'all doing?
I'm getting into this gambling thing. Don't be surprised.
Oh, God.
I mean, I'm getting ready. It's coming next year. I have to start getting ready for this.
Are you getting into knowing about gambling or actually getting into gambling?
No, Joe knows me better than that.
Just knowing.
Once we get into hockey season, this goes live. I want you to give me the Will Sebastian Aho score the first period over-unders, that kind of stuff, because that's how I'm going to pay for my beer at games.
There you go.
I mean, honestly, that's how I'm going to do it. All right, let's just go ahead and start with Friday's game, shall we? NC State, Louisville, Cardinals, -3, guys. What are we doing here?
There isn't an outcome that would surprise me in this game. So I'm going to take the gambling of equivalent of copping out. I think Louisville gives up points.
Okay.
I think State's offense is not good, but I do think they will score points in this game. Because Louisville gave up 34 to Georgia Tech, who I don't think is great shakes. They give up 28 to BC, who I don't think is great shakes. Bradley Rosner did not really do anything against Virginia. I could see him scoring in the red zone in this game. Bradley Rosner is an anytime touchdown plus 240. So I'm going Bradley Rosner, anytime touchdown.
That is a cop out. Like,
I couldn't find the team total. I would have gone States to your.
Well, the team total, if you can extrapolate it, it's probably 20. Or NC State or Louisville. Is that who?
I would have gone States over. In
So
the team
it's probably
total.
26. If the total's 29, if the total's 55, 29 to 26 is their implied outcome. So it's probably 26.
I think they'll score 4 times. I think State will score 4 times in this game. Night game. They'll be fired up. The blackout.
If they score 20, if they score over 26, they're winning.
The glow in the dark.
You know
numbers.
that, right? If they score over 26, they're probably winning.
But what's NC State's history with special uniforms?
Well, this is the exception
not
because
basketball.
it's Louisville.
True.
Louisville's the only team they're allowed to wear black against.
This is true because it
the
won't
only exception.
This is not at Cole Fieldhouse wearing black jerseys.
This is the only exception. But I would not be surprised either way. Like, I literally created something called the Law of the Wolf. Like,
And I was going to bring
people are
up
taking a shit on State after last week, and they should be because they played like shit against a shitty team. Okay, quite frankly, and I get that you don't see it that way, and that you were there and you're all excited. I get that.
Can I not? Can we?
And you're gonna. I know you are about to fade the hell out of Virginia this week as well. But the truth of the matter is, they played poorly against a bad team. So why would I have any faith in somebody that played poorly against a bad team, other than this law that I created?
This is your law.
This is right. They're coming home.
Does it have a Wikipedia entry yet?
They're coming home. Nobody really believes in them, but they do play well at night.
I said no one loses more when they win than NC State.
And that is accurate.
Because
that is accurate.
You would have thought this was an 0-14 coming back to Raleigh from Charlottesville last week based on the fan reaction and such. So,
which gets to my mystery prop of the week.
Oh, God.
Dave Doran and NC State beat Louisville on Friday.
Yeah.
Chances Dave Doran says, you going to enjoy the win now? A follow-up to last Friday.
Yeah.
Yes or no?
Oh, we'll get salty, Dave.
Oh God, he's waiting. He's already planning. He's planting the seeds. Last week was just planting the seeds to be salty the rest of the year.
You think he's gonna go harder in the paint with more local media there?
I have no. Well, they don't do anything post game in person.
Oh, that's right. It's all Zoom anyway. Right.
So you don't care.
Yeah.
No, I'm legitimately. I will not be surprised either way by the outcome of this game.
All right.
I'm taking State money line.
Duke, Notre Dame. Notre Dame is -5.5.
I've gotten every Duke game wrong this year. Every single one.
Elko covers, right? Great teams, good teams win, great teams cover. Mike Elko, you've pointed this out several times, Joe, that Elko's Duke team is like a Vegas anomaly.
They're a cash machine.
They really are.
Well, Duke, even with like vintage Cutcliffe, it was the same type thing. A lot of people, especially like public people, still saw Duke. Didn't realize they had talent. And I haven't watched a lot of Duke, but it's been amazing that the little I have, the 22 that they put on the field, their first string, they're fast.
Pretty good.
They look fast. And I think they went and portaled, right? They got when you get a kid from Miami,
right,
and replace it with someone who was on Duke, you're probably upgrading in some capacity, probably speed or, at least in that thing.
I'm taking another cop out in this
but I can't. Can you figure out Duke?
No. I can't really figure out Notre Dame either.
Are you worried about Notre Dame have poured it out? Because like in another world, in a I don't know about Duke thing, I would look at this and say Notre Dame just had their heart ripped out at home.
That's why I was curious about the number being so low.
5.5.
Typically, the public is going to look at Notre Dame. It's Notre Dame.
Yeah.
Nobody really thinks about Duke. Nobody's paying attention to Duke. There's no way people are paying attention to Duke beyond what happened in the season opener against Clemson.
Duke
so I'm actually surprised it's that low.
Duke is a power rating. Now, this is like gambling term.
Please teach me, Josh.
Duke is a power rating. It's like Kim
Because
Pom.
they've been hammering
think
people.
Kim Pom to an extent. They are a power rating machine. They're great in success rate. They're great in limiting explosive. And so they're ranking high and everything. So their power ratings.
They have a better number.
So
their power rating's pretty high.
They're an S&P plus darling?
Yes.
Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're a metric.
I think Bill
They have good
Connolly
metrics.
came out this week literally and said, because his stuff is the same type power rating thing, but also still has a lot of preseason projections baked into it. And I think he came out and put a graphics. It's like, if you take out preseason projection, Duke is a top 10 S&P plus team this year because of all the things we've talked about, like that help turnover luck, all these things combined. Duke is a great power rating team right now, and hence why the number is 5.5.
Well, it's interesting you bring up the power rating versus the power rating because Conley was also making that argument about Notre Dame and their loss to Ohio State. Like Ohio State gained nothing from the win. It's weird. Your eyeballs, they won the game on the road. You give them credit, yet in the S&P world, they actually get knocked a few pegs because statistically it was a toss-up game, and they're not going to get any credit for that. And Notre Dame's been good at that.
I'm gonna take Notre Dame. I think that they play in enough of these spots.
Yeah.
That I'm not necessarily worried about the hangover. And Duke is hosting game day. This is their biggest home game in what? Forever. Like, I just don't. I think that I think Notre Dame is more ready for the limelight, and I think the Notre Dame record against ACC teams over the last 5 years is insane. And usually they cover in these spots. How many times has UNC been to Chapel Hill and we're like, hey, UNC has a chance and they're going to be good? And what do? They run the ball 40 times and gain 250 yards and win going away. Until I see Notre Dame not do that against an ACC team, I'm going to lay it less than a touchdown.
Since we never do well when we have the same side, I'm going to take another cop out bet here. I'm going to take the under of 52,
which is probably playing to the same. Like it's probably betting the same thing because I think it's going to be something like 27-13 or something like that, which gets us both home.
Okay.
All right, Josh, what's your best bet of the week? I have a mortgage payment I don't want to pay.
Oof.
So this is going to cover it. What do you got?
This might be dumb because this team struggles when they go to Syracuse. Clemson.
After getting their nuts stomped, you're going to go to Clemson.
Laying 7.
It's a lot of confidence, man.
I actually think Clemson looked good last week. And I understand they got their nuts kicked in, but Will Shipley, still good. And Klubnik actually finally looked like what we all thought that he probably is supposed to look like whenever he got in over DJ. I mean, he made one throw in the end of the half. Now, obviously, he had the play where he got blindsided, strip sack, and it leads to the touchdown. But I think before that, he gets hit every time on that drive and just makes dime pass after dime pass. I don't know what it is. Like, Dabo somehow is able to get his team still fired up on things, and I don't think they're necessarily going to quit. I'll see it 1 week. Give me 1 week, right? If they quit here, then they quit.
I'm with you. If we're sitting here talking about poured out games, Ohio State, Notre Dame, who's to say? Actually, we talked about this on the podcast earlier in the week. That Florida State game for Clemson was let's remind you that we're
still Clemson.
We're not done. You can talk all the talk, but we always find our way back to the ACC championship game. They played their best game of the season. Cade Klubnik arguably had his best game of the season up until he got knocked out and fumbled the ball. That was on him.
Yeah.
I don't see how you bounce back from that after you poured it out and lost.
I pay my mortgage. RTP Mortgage. RTPmortgage.com. Josh Goodson, you can give him a call, 252-361-1415. It's actually his real number. Or just go to rtpmortgage.com. This is also where I feel obligated to point out his NMLS number is 1569995. Yes, I have my mortgage with Josh. Because at just as many things, other than maybe even including gambling, as you look at our records, not great at. So I asked for help. I asked for the experts' help. And this isn't a great market right now, Josh, but that doesn't mean people shouldn't give you a shout or go to RTB Mortgage and figure out what they could do to improve their situation.
Yeah, there's opportunity everywhere. I always tell everybody it's a great time to buy. And that's not just sales guy. Prices are going to go up. You can always change your rate. You can always refi. There's always other stuff you can do to get a better mortgage payment right now. Buy downs, points, whatever you name it. I can help you out.
All right. So that's rtpmortgage.com. So check out Josh Goodson. So my bet the mortgage of the week, I'm going the opposite way from you.
Okay.
In terms of a team, I'm picking a team not to bounce back.
Okay.
Ole Miss, a lot of fanfare. They played Alabama last week. This feels like don't let one loss turn into two. How many times have we seen NC State play Clemson in the heyday and then have to play, Lamar Jackson or Florida State the next week, and they look like a steaming pile of trash.
Body blows.
Yeah, they just
facing that physical team the week before for sure.
So Ole Miss hosts LSU. I happen to think LSU is actually the best team in the SEC. Yes, I said it. I think they're better than Georgia this year. This is 2.5. I know the book is begging you to take LSU. I don't think Ole Miss recovers from the Alabama performance. I don't see them bouncing back. I do see LSU putting it on them this week in my RTP Mortgage. Bet the mortgage, bet of the week.
I hope you win it for the family.
Yes, literally my family and my mortgage company.
See you next week, Josh.
Thanks, guys.
All right, from college picks to NFL picks, Anthony Guerra, Oakwood Pizza Box, hanging out with us here in studio. What's up, Anthony?
Hey guys, how we doing? Thank you for having me.
You're probably wondering why I'm here.
Yeah, I like your post is better with you there. I feel like I cover up the clock. That clock is something. that clock is legendary.
Did you notice that I fixed the shelf?
Yes.
So the shelf is a little bit more level now.
Yep.
Got some shims in there.
Yep.
So you don't have to worry about the lava lamp falling on you at any point.
I was concerned. I didn't know is it toxic inside of the lava lamp if it were to break on you?
It depends on which version of the lava lamp you have.
Okay. My mother scared me as a child. I'm afraid of lava lamps. I don't know why, but she always made it like a thing, like it's poisonous inside, like as if
you pop the top, you're gonna have a problem. Why would you want to pop the top?
Because I was told not to.
I want winners.
All right, let's get to those props. What do you got, Joe?
All right, I'm going to try a tried and true hockey bet. When a guy plays his old team, take that guy. Right? We've seen this all the time in hockey. Oh man, I spent 14 years in Toronto. I'm going to be really fired up to play Toronto today. Calvin Ridley taking on his old team, the Falcons. I don't know why we haven't been betting on Calvin Ridley this whole time since he is a gambler. Number 65.5, you're saying, Joe, his targets have gone down each week. His yardage has gone down each week. I don't care. He's playing his old team. This one's 65.5. I'm taking the over for Calvin Ridley's receiving yards.
Did Calvin take the over as well? Or
I think so. And I think he was fading himself the last 2 weeks.
Okay.
So he had 101 in the opener, 32, and then 40. His targets have gone from 11 to 8 to 7. I don't care. I'm on the Calvin Ridley train this week.
All right.
I want winners.
All right, so I have to take my prop, Joe. I'm going to go with keep riding the horse that got you here, right? Stay with the girl who keeps getting you great things.
Dance with the one that brought you.
Yeah, whatever the saying is. Who cares? Listen, all I'm going to say is Miami Dolphins. Listen, is this the Shula days of the Dolphins? 70 points last week.
Super duper.
What? Listen,
The Marx Brothers.
Larry Zonka might be back there in the backfield. I don't know. I'm going with them. Tua is 1.5. I'm taking the over on touchdowns. Give me my guy Tua. Does he qualify for comeback player of the year?
He might.
Probably.
He might. I'm too
MVP.
He's got to stay on the field, though.
That's the thing.
There's
And
a lot of season
I'm too
left.
busy. Shout out to one of our many lawyers, Jay, who's a lifetime Dolphins fan, who texted me last night. And he's like, so when does this end? I'm like, I am absolutely preparing for a Tua Tagovailoa injury. But now that Anthony is making this one of his props, I can hear my dad already.
Today.
I can hear my dad already.
You've jinxed him.
That pizza guy. The pizza guy. That pizza guy jinxed him.
He's been on the Dolphins all year, though. So.
I have been betting him the whole year.
Okay.
Listen, when I saw that head coach, you see him at halftime when the cameraman was staring at him and he gave him the interview and he just gave him a quick look and he's, I'm going to beat you to the locker room. They're beating everybody in everything. When your head coach is that kind of speed, I mean, listen, Tyreek Hill is inspired to go faster. Achane, however he wants to pronounce his name now. He did a great game. I've been calling his name.
2 Chainz.
2 Chainz. Let's go. The offense is unstoppable.
You better lock it up. You better lock it up. No, you lock it up. You lock it up. Lock it up. Lock it up.
All right, for my lock of the week, I'm going to the NFC South. I do not believe in the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I do not believe in them. I know they're 2-1. I do not believe in them. They're not a good football team. I don't think the Saints are a great team either. And I get it. We got an injury with Derek Carr. I think the Saints, a home 3, take care of business in this division game. Give me the Saints -3.
Ooh, you believe in them after this week, though?
I do. I don't believe in the Bucs, period. I don't. Their coach is not good.
Yeah.
Their offense is not good.
Baker
I
Mayfield
don't buy
regressed.
anything Tampa Bay related.
You don't believe in the ex-Jet coach, Todd Bowles, turning this around? The mastermind?
I do not. And I'm quite frankly, I'm stunned that they're 2-1. I thought they would be the 0-3 team like the Panthers in that division. But they're not. So credit to them. But this game, Saints at home taking care of business, -3. Lock it up.
I foreshadowed my lock. Tua, over touchdowns. This is a trap game. Them getting points in Buffalo is a trap for me, but I'm going to ignore it. I'm going to run through it. I don't care. Give me 3 points. Give me the Dolphins going into Buffalo. Mind you, I did some extra research. Weather Channel, not a sponsor, should be a channel, should be of the game. 75 degrees in Buffalo. They're going to play fast.
75?
Yeah, high is 75. Sunday, 1 o'clock. Let's go.
So this is not the playoff game where it was freezing and Jalen Waddle was like, I don't really want to play football today.
No. Listen, I'm going to bet Miami, as long as the weather is nice, I'm going with the Dolphins. I'm betting them with the weather. That's it.
You're 2-0 this year, taking the Dolphins. I like the premise. And now, of course, it's time for your Jets.
Oh, God.
Play the sounder.
Jets, Jets, Jets.
That gets you fired up, doesn't it?
Oh, man. man.
Did Aaron Rodgers get you fired up on his McAfee show appearance?
Listen, I think Aaron Rodgers, I want Aaron Rodgers on my team. I want him doing all my media stuff. I want him on around everything. I wish that he was the head coach because I promise you, even though he's saying to relax and to be calm and to be collected, listen, he would not play Zach Wilson and let him do this on the field. No way. The play calling would be different. There's no way. You got to go to anyone else at this point.
What are their options?
Oh, listen.
Sign somebody off the street. Did you see Mike White slinging it for the Dolphins in the run-up?
You stole my thunder right here because that argument for those who did not watch the Jets last year, and I did watch the Jets, when Mike White played for the Jets with the same talent as Zach Wilson, he would throw for 300 to 400 yards. Even Joe Flacco moved the football with the same players. You are looking at a guy in Wilson, unfortunately, who had a great lead up to the draft. The guy was running around in shorts and a T-shirt with no defenders on the field, running to the left, roll right, spin, one-handed, no look, 90-yard pass. Whatever the hell they saw, none of that matters in football. He can't hit an open receiver.
He's not good. And now Namath is calling him out. And
Oh, God.
you got Tiki Barber walking off the set.
You're a guy. Yeah, no.
Well, I mean, Joe Benigno did go below the belt on SNY the other day where he's like, he pulled if you missed this clip, it was, pure New York sport. This is why New York sports talk is the dominant form of sports talk because there's no city quite like New York and how they go about these things. I didn't like that Joe was like, what game were you working? And what happened to be on at that same time? So don't tell me that you analyzed the game. I'm like, buddy, that's why Tiki got mad.
And listen, Tiki can get as mad as he wants. Tiki's take is terrible on this. But Joe Benigno is correct on this. Tiki's going
Joe
soft.
Benigno's one of the. I'm sorry.
But this is a classic.
Joe Benigno on late night. Here's another hot take for all of the deep dives. I used to listen to Joe Benigno on the overnight. My father used to call in from the market. My dad works nights. Called Benigno on the overnight. He was great on the overnight alone. Benigno and Evan Roberts, rough. However, rough. Evan Roberts, rough.
Anthony, I usually agree with your taste on things, with the exception of this one sports talk take. It's the only one I have a problem with.
But this is classic. This is classic New Yorkers watching something.
I know.
No, but you're trying to tell them, no, you just don't understand that Zach Wilson isn't actually that bad. Mm-hmm. And everyone's like, no, he's terrible.
He's terrible.
Stop propping him up and get somebody else
Don't lie
out
to me.
there.
Don't lie to me.
Right.
I might not know the X's and O's like Mike McCarthy does, right? The great Sean Payton. I don't understand football like the great one. Coach Payton nails it. But, like, I see this is what I don't understand. If I'm a bad quarterback, right? I'm an average quarterback. I'm hiding in the league. I got paid a lot of money. I have an arm. I can throw the ball. And you have a wide receiver like Garrett Wilson. Pardon me, but throw him the fucking ball.
Yeah.
Throw him the ball.
Yeah.
Give him the ball. Just keep throwing it at him. And I bet you more often than not, if you are not terrible throwing the ball and you throw towards Garrett Wilson most of the
Breece
time,
Hall.
you open up Breece Hall down low, or you get Alan Lazard outside somewhere. I don't know why Randall Cobb is still on the field. He got blown up on about 4 or 5 different screenplays they tried to run. He got absolutely
The Aaron
launched.
Rodgers security blankets.
Yeah.
Listen, if Aaron was playing, I'm sure Randall Cobb would be amazing.
Sure.
Whatever.
This team, by the way, would still have the same issues if Aaron Rodgers was still the quarterback.
But I think if you move the football around, my argument is if you move the football around and get it to the playmakers, the whole team will start to look a lot better. You're seeing a defense that's about to quit on the coach.
Yeah.
Because everyone in leadership, you always look to, every decision is looked to under a microscope by everybody on your team and everyone underneath you. That's why it's the hardest part of being a leader. Mm-hmm. And right now, so you want to talk to me about bringing in the mentalists and the hard knocks, and we're doing this, and it's all gas, no break. Well, what the hell is going on offense? How is that all gas, no break? How is that being a leader? How is that being your best? Hey, defense, I need you to be great. You need to be the best. You need to be the best. Oh, you're not going hard. Oh, Zach Wilson's doing great. I don't know why you're upset.
Their schedule has not been easy.
Brutal schedule.
I mean, that's the other part.
These next couple
The
weeks are brutal.
defenses they've seen so far are good defenses. And anyway,
But then the Cardinals, how did the Cardinals happen?
because the Dallas Cowboys
They had
started
their
reading
reset.
the Dallas Cowboys also start reading their own press. They look past that game. And we talk about this in college all the time. NFL players do the same thing. They're looking at a team that's supposedly tanking. Everybody loves the Cowboys, and they lay an egg. That's what they always do.
I mean, Micah Parsons looked like LT against the Jets. Yeah. LT. I mean, legitimately, yeah. I've heard stories of LT. I mean, there's nothing I've seen that's quite like that. I mean, we've had great pass rushers.
Your reminder, Wednesday through Sunday, Oakwood Pizza Box. Go online, oakwoodpizzabox.com. Order the square. I don't know why you would get anything else. That's what our question is going to be related to this week. Have you added the sesames yet to the actual menu?
They're on the online menu.
Online menu. Perfect. I love it. Soon to be on the online menu, because we're now even at 4-4 on the year. We have a wager, a season-long wager. If I beat Anthony in our picks, I get to have a menu item named after me.
Oh, jeez.
So,
Just what he needs.
Yeah.
Can't wait. We're both 4-4 on the year now, minus $40.
Ugly.
I know. We're pushing the chips around the table. If we just took all of your Dolphins picks and all of my best bets, we would be fine. All right, let's get to our pizza question of the week. This comes from Bentley on the YouTubes. Giglio is always talking about the square. Is the dough for the square actually different for the dough for the circle?
The dough for the square is not different. It goes through a longer fermentation, but basically starts off the exact same way. It just branches off a little bit. And I think what makes a square unique is the olive oil that's cooked in the pan. It took a really long time to find that pan. It's really odd, and I don't think anybody really understands that. The pan itself is brutally difficult to source.
Where'd you get it from?
Originally, it was from the Bronx. There's a company in the Bronx that makes them, but they made them so well that it was a crappy business because you buy one and you
don't have to replace
never buy them again. Yeah. I mean, they're expensive as all get out. They're like $60, but I bought a bunch of them and I never had to replace them. So they unfortunately went out of business, which then led me on a scramble.
So you have to guard those like grim death.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Are they on eBay?
Not really, although you see a lot of pizza shops are trading different. There is a lot of trading on eBay.
Oh, interesting.
It's an important thing.
Do you qualify your circle as a Neapolitan, as we talked about last week, because there is no olive oil involved, or do you not consider your circle
for it to be Neapolitan? It'd have to go to a wood-fired oven.
Oh, okay.
If it goes to a wood-fired oven, then it would 100% qualify in every way, shape, and form if it went to a wood-fired oven.
Okay.
I want to start a new segment, Anthony. we're going to live workshop this year. So I'm curious whether
Get creative.
I'm curious if it's feasible or not, right? You know, a wise,
Might require Anthony working on a day that he's not working, though.
once in a while, you know.
We've done that before.
Yeah, we have done that.
A time or two.
But a wise man once told us, you know, you can't always give him pizza, right?
That's right.
But what if we put different ingredients on the pizza?
Ooh.
So here's what I'm workshopping, Anthony.
Okay.
Because I'm trying to catch the viral wave.
Okay.
And pizza reviews, I've been told, are hot. However,
I tell you, don't tell the Washington Post that. I don't think they believe in that. They're not buying that.
it depends on the person. It depends on the person. That's always key here. So what I want to do, and you tell me if this is stupid or not. I want you to find the most exotic ingredients and put it on a pizza to see if it works.
Okay.
Rattlesnake on a pizza.
How do you source a rattlesnake?
Crickets on a pizza.
I'm out. I'm out.
You're out?
I'm dead.
You don't want to do that?
Dead. I'm dead.
Is this like offensive to your New York pizza sensibilities?
Yeah.
What is the wildest thing? What's the wildest topping you've had on a pizza?
I don't know. Wildest?
And not pineapple.
I mean, there's some, obviously, non-traditional pizzas are the great ones. Frank Pepe's clam pie is a great one, although that is now not radical. Great ones like Chris Bianco does it's not radical now, but it was then, a red onion and pistachio pizza. That's phenomenal.
Interesting.
With rosemary. I'm trying to think about non-traditionals on the fly. Those go up really high. I'm trying to find weird. Because it's got to be
Who
great,
was the
though.
Moonlight Pizza guy back in the day? Local. He used to
had
have
some
like
stuff on there, yeah.
potato and some other
Yeah, there used to be
exotic.
There used to be a place called Pie Works over in Waverly Place that Kelly and I would go to all the time, and they had a loaded mashed potato pizza, and it was actually pretty phenomenal. But those are like weird things.
There's a sliced potato pizza that I could think of. There's a Neapolitan place in the Bronx on Arthur Avenue.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Slices,
Yeah,
just thin
super
slices,
thin.
rosemary.
Yes.
Like,
I'm just thinking traditional, you know, marinara, dough, marinara, cheese, and then you put, it's like Iron Chef.
okay.
You know, it's like today's ingredient is.
Joe wants to go to the grocery store and throw something on there.
To see if it works.
I don't know who's eating this, but
Yeah.
I would eat it. Like, can you just make a slice
For you, yeah, sure.
with that on it? So if I go to Wegmans and I'm like,
yeah,
you know what, I'm
if
interested
you go up there on Friday, he has slices for lunch.
So
that you can
wanna-
put whatever you
yeah,
want
I mean,
on.
yeah, go ahead.
I feel like we might have to try this.
I like the lobster tank at Wegmans. I mean, that's always
You want me to? We can expense that, right? Don't we have to spend money?
Absolutely.
I'll just bring a live lobster. to Anthony.
live lobster.
Yes.
It's a write-off. It's a write-off. Why
What
not?
if I put a sushi?
Seems like a
roll?
lot of work.
What if I put a sushi roll on top of a pizza? Would it work?
I mean, there's a guy you would love him. There's a guy who does this. Actually, now that I'm thinking about it, Tony Baloney's he started in.
That's not a real name.
Tony Baloney. Yeah, that's him. Or Tony something
Okay.
in Hoboken.
Yeah. Of course.
He has like a taco pizza. It's like
now we're talking.
but it's like literally like little tacos on top
I could
of a
see a
pizza.
cheesesteak pizza from Butcher's Market.
Taco burrito.
It's a taco
Oh, I'm sorry, no, a pizza burrito.
pizza.
A pizza burrito. I think that's called a calzone.
Yeah,
Yes.
it
Okay.
feels like it. Or like I used to eat pizza rolls as a kid. Those were good. A little like rolled up ones you put in the
Anthony's like, I'll give you the slice. Whatever you do with it, that's up to you.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm
Just
out
don't
of it.
attach
What if
my
I
name
put
to
what
it.
if I put Elio's on top of one of your slices? And
I
then we
used to eat Elio's pizzas
I still do
all the
eat
time.
Elio's.
I still, yeah. Look,
Yeah.
when I've had one too many
If you-
groove wagons, it'll be an Elio's kind of night. I'm just saying.
I
You
mean,
can put whatever you want on Elio's.
as long as you get it crispy and get red
Yeah.
pepper flakes involved, I mean,
Yes.
you're getting there. Scotty, you got
It's just
Well
something.
done.
It's just something I'm thinking about because now I'm in a constant state of thinking of, well, how can we go viral? How can we go viral? I'm thinking, I don't know, picking up something random at Wegmans and you putting it in the pizza oven might work.
It might be a disaster.
Anthony
it
hates
might
this
be
idea.
a
He hates it.
disaster.
He hates the idea. All right,
No,
man. Take it easy. We'll see you next week.
thank you guys.